Hello, this is Josh. A lot of people have asked me how to make grilled cheese avocado. I know it sounds simple, but I've had people try it different ways, and I have too in the past, and it's not the easiest thing. So first, we're going to show you how we do it. I'm using today home fried bread. You can use the white or wheat, depending on what you like. And as you can see here, if I turn it the right angle, I put a little butter on there. This is a griddle, okay. I already have cheese. You can grate the cheese yourself, or you can buy the kind that's already shredded and ready, okay. This will be the actual time of how long it takes to actually make it. You don't really need a lot of cheese because it's going to melt and it's going to spread around, okay. So we just kind of make that look pretty. This is actually, what I'm using here is called, Rayleigh's has it. It's a pizza blend shredded cheese, so it's mozzarella and cheddar cheese. Anyway, okay, and while that's starting to melt, I'm getting another slice of bread, and I'm spreading the butter around. Depending on what type of bread you use, if it's a really soft bread, like I am using home fried white bread, if you used a thicker bread, it would take longer to cook, and plus you could spread the butter a little easily if the butters come directly out of the refrigerator. This is the other side here. I won't put that on until later. Okay, and the cheese is melting there, and we'll wait a second. Okay, now the cheese is almost melted there. I usually don't put it on until it's completely melted. But what I've done here, with a little time-lapse photography, is I cut, which is only a quarter of an avocado. And I won't lie to you, it's a very small one. I got one over here that's not cut yet, and that's about how big it is. My hands are pretty big, so it's maybe 3 inches long, okay? 2.5, 3 inches long, so it's a very small one. Don't need a big one. Anyway, this is just a quarter of an avocado. So you could probably make 4 sandwiches depending on how much you like avocados. Some people like a lot, some don't like at all, and some probably don't even want to watch this show. Anyway, so the cheese is almost melted, so we're going to just put it on there. And yes, please make sure you clean your hands before you cook at all times. That is very important. Because if anybody's cooked in the past and forgot that, someone gets sick. Maybe not right away, but eventually they do, okay? So it's important you always wash your hands there. Even if you don't think so, you always wash it. Even if you just did a half hour ago, you always do it just before you start cooking, okay? So that's a quarter of an avocado. That's nothing fancy there. Now the cheese is almost melted, and you don't want to leave it too long on that side because otherwise it's gonna get burnt. So as I said, the cheese almost was melted, and I'm putting the other end up. As you can see, it's got butter on it. And yeah, it's kind of torn the bread a little bit, but that's the least of my worries. Okay, we're going to turn it over. Sorry that took so long. With this production crew, it's hard to be able to do everything around cameras, so we're just kind of making do right now. Again, don't touch the griddle, it's hot. And some might call that burnt, but it's not too bad for me. Now, the avocado is going to melt just a little bit, but it shouldn't be too bad. That's actually a really good job right there. You don't want to get too much further than that. So you could probably do it a little bit less if you like this coloring. For some reason that side's darker than the other, so that's probably, the griddle itself probably has different temperatures in different spots. A lot of these inexpensive griddles, it's not all the same temperature. The middle is, but usually the edges are a few degrees cooler, from 5 to 10 degrees cooler. Anyway, alright, so that's pretty much done. You don't have to do a lot of grilling on the other side, because as I mentioned, the cheese is already melted. The avocado is going to get warmed up in the next few minutes, and that'll be pretty much it. We just want a light tan. It doesn't need to be this dark because, again, as I said, the toast, the cheese melted, the avocado's all set and ready. It's going to be warmed up a little bit, not too bad. We'll wait a few more minutes, and then we'll see how it looks, okay? Okay, it's only been like a minute or two. And we're going to take it, like sliding around, put it on here. Okay, and there's the color. That's only after a couple minutes. That's true, we did edit some time in there to let it cook, but I mean, not more than like 2 or 3 minutes did we totally edit out. So this is the actual time. This is what it looks like. I just sliced it a little bit, and you can see the insides. You got your avocado and your cheese. Now I know if you go to some fancier restaurants in different parts of the states and different cities, they put a lot of seasoning on the bread itself. I've experimented with that. Sometimes it's too strong, sometimes it's too weak, sometimes you can't taste nothing. So I just kind of do it this way. It's very simple. For you who love avocados, this is perfect for you. Try it. I think you'll like it. You can always have some soup with it, either homemade or out of the can. And it's really enjoyable, and hopefully you enjoyed this video too. Click like it if you do, and subscribe if you want to see more recipes like this one. I'm Josh, and thanks for joining me.